Hey everyone, Stones here coming at you with another video, just reviewing everything that I got this weekend. Everything I got from estate sales, actually 3 different estate sales this weekend. I did go to a yard sale, didn't buy anything there. There was no recycling event this weekend. There's one more next weekend on Saturday. So I'll have a video about that. Hopefully it ends up being a good one, being the last one for the year. Speaking of the last for the year, so at the end of October, I typically quit looking for yard sales and garage sales on purpose. Now, that means I don't get my car and drive around looking for them on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and sometimes Sundays. At the end of October, that stops. Now, if I see signs, if I hear about one, if someone tells me about one, sure, I'll go check it out. But I don't go and do my scouting route, is what I call it, or what like the American Picker guys say, they're freestyling. I don't freestyle once October is over with. So today's, I think, November 3rd. So it's pretty much done for me. But again, this weekend, Thursday was October 31st. So I still drove around and looked for yard sales and garage sales. But it technically would have been the last day for it. I did find signs for one estate sale. I got there at 9:45. It started at 10 o'clock. People were lined up. I normally do not, I am not that invested in estate sales to get in line and wait to get in on the first day, because around here, normally the estate sales are too expensive on the first day for me to find anything to make a profit. Now, there are exceptions based on who's doing the estate sale, and sometimes the people at the estate sale slip up and there's things that get by them. I've proven that in the past. But normally I don't make a whole lot of effort to get in on the first day, but there was nothing else going on. So I decided to grab a number. I was number 29, and I got in line and waited for about 10 minutes to get in. The problem with this estate sale was they had no access to the main house, so they had to hold the entire estate sale in the garage and in the basement, which meant less room for all the people that wanted to get in, which meant they were limited to how many people they were letting in at one time. I thought I was going to have to wait a while, but I really didn't. Only had to wait about 10 or 15 minutes, but I was right about the prices. Prices were just a little too high for my taste, but I did end up buying one thing for $5, and this will go into my personal collection. So whoever this estate was, they were a massive collector of a lot of different things, and one of the things that they had quite a bit of were lunch boxes, mostly plastic ones, which is odd. You normally see people are more into the aluminum ones, the metal ones. This person had hundreds of plastic lunch boxes, every pop culture genre, license you can think of: wrestling, Hulk Hogan, Randy the Macho Man Savage. They had Care Bears, they had Mask, He-Man, groups and bands, New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, all sorts of everything you could think of. I found this Power Ranger thermos only, paid $5 for it, but had to have it in my collection because if you know me, I collect anything and everything Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This thing was so clean. There is not a scratch on it. It is not faded. The graphics are very strong, and I'm happy to have this in my collection for $5. Wish I could have found the matching lunchbox, but apparently it wasn't there. So that was Thursday, the only purchase for $5. And then on Friday, I went to another estate sale. Now, a friend of mine had called me up and told me about this. It was in the neighboring town. I probably wouldn't have driven out there, wouldn't have known about it. And supposedly what the story about this estate sale was, it was actually 2 members of the same family that passed away relatively in the same time frame. So the family members decided to put both estates together and hold this sale. I guess they were kind of in a pinch and they needed the money to pay some outstanding bills that these 2 loved ones had left behind. And so it was a combined estate sale. Now, I like estate sales that are run by family members because typically they're more like just massive garage sales. They're not like true estate sales where the prices are out of control. They're just oversized garage sales in my experience, and that was exactly what this one was. Now, I will have to say, interesting story. I get it in there, I'm looking around, I'm finding some good stuff, and one of the members of the family approaches me and basically accuses me of stealing. He saw me put my phone in my pocket, and he said, "Hey, did I just see you put something in your pocket?" And I got it. I understand, like, when you're in this predicament and you're selling stuff and you need the money to pay for bills, you don't want people stealing from you. But obviously, I wasn't. I didn't allow it to get to me. I almost walked out, but I was finding some good stuff, so I wanted to stay. And I said, "Look, you just saw me put my cell phone in my pocket." We ended up getting into a conversation about different things. There was a large collection of film cameras, mostly Minolta. They didn't have prices on those. Everything else had been priced. I asked about that. We tried to reach an agreement. He was just a little too high for me. I offered 100, and that was actually me being generous, knowing that they needed the money, and me taking a risk. He wanted 150 originally. Then he came down to meet in the middle at 125. But my $100 offer was actually more than I was willing to normally give anyways. And since I get access to that stuff at recycling events, I didn't see myself paying more than 100, and $100 was a stretch. And then I also had to point out that there are two chess sets that they labeled as being ivory for $150 a piece. Wasn't even ivory at all. They were either alabaster or marble, and probably not even worth a third of that price. So anyways, I spent $40, and I actually gave them a little bit more money. I think my bill was like $38, but I just gave them 40, told them to keep the change, no hard feelings, and I hope it helped them out. But this is what I picked up for $40. First of all, this Stop and Go thermos, I just thought it had a cool look to it. It's a little dirty, but it'll clean up well. Don't know really what the value for that will be, maybe $15, $20. Got two of these alabaster or marble ashtrays. It kind of has this little sleeping Mexican man up against a cactus. Paid $5 a piece for those. You can see the price. Not a whole lot of value, maybe 20, 25 bucks a piece on those. Got this Mickey Mouse Pluto Christmas decoration for $1. Not a whole lot of value on that. $10 to $15 on that. These vintage metal, steel York dumbbells. These are 1-pounders a piece, but vintage York stuff sells really, really well. I've sold it in the past. The plates, the dumbbells, I paid $0.25 a piece for these, 50 cents for the pair. Probably can get $25 to $30 for the set. People are also like labeling them as paperweights, which is kind of funny. Then I grabbed up a bunch of these sealed VHS. I'm a collector of sealed VHS. I've done really well on sealed VHS. Actually, one of my best sales ever and my best finds ever was at a thrift store. Some people know the story. Paid 25 cents for a sealed copy of Ghostbusters, not on VHS, but on Betamax, which is basically about the same thing. Sold it for $1,250 on eBay. Paid $0.25, sold it for $1,250. There are some sealed. People are really getting into these. It was really big a couple of years ago, but certain movies still sealed in mint condition. People are getting them graded, and people are paying a lot of money for them for certain movies. Some of these will go in my collection. Some of these will be sold. Three Ninjas probably go in my collection. Blade will probably go in my collection. Jurassic Park will go in my collection. Poltergeist will probably be sold. Santa Claus will probably be sold. Power Rangers, of course, is going to go in my collection. I have all these. I have these sealed. I bought them when they originally came out in the 90s. But anytime I find them, I grab them up anyways. And this is the interesting one. This Pocket Ninjas, I thought it was sealed at first. It just has the plastic on it still. One of the tricks people do is they just pop the plastic off in the bottom and allows them to get the tape out. But this is great because it means this box is in mint condition. And the interesting thing about this VHS is it's extremely rare. There has only been one sale for this VHS in the past 3 years on eBay. And I had to use Terapeak or Product Research to even find it. It was a completely sealed copy that sold for $200. Now, I won't go into all the details of how did they figure that out, if it was the only sealed copy. Maybe there was one that sold before that, at that time when they sold it, that sold for 200. I don't know. There are no active listings for this. My rules with things when I have the only one, used versus new, long story short, because it's in mint condition, because they left the plastic on it, I'm probably going to aim for $100 to $125 on this VHFs, if you can believe it. We'll see. Bought these blank cassette tapes. I pick up any type 2, so it'll be Roman numeral 2. They'll also say high bias or high position or something like that. Your standard blank cassette tapes are type 1, low bias, normal bias. Those aren't really worth anything. Your type 2s can, depending on the brand and which model it is and stuff, sometimes can sell for upwards of $50 for one blank cassette tape if it's brand new. And then there's also a type 4. I've never heard of a type 3. I don't know if that exists, but there are type 4s as well. Those can sell for one blank cassette tape, can sell for $100 sometimes, depending on the brand. I also bought this stack of books, mostly karate, martial arts. Whoever this person was really into martial arts. They had karate stuff all over the place. Obviously, the movies, there's quite a few ninja and karate movies. Blade, Three Ninjas, Pocket Ninjas, Power Rangers, that type of thing. I bought these books, 2 for $1. 50 cents a piece, so I think I got the whole stack for like $4. I'm probably going to sell these all together. There's not a whole lot of value there, except for this one. This sells for $50 on eBay, and I'm guessing that the spiral bound edition probably would have been like the first print by this author. Then they went on to a bound version. I can't see them going the opposite direction, but $50 minimum on that. Got this interesting computer. They had a bunch of computer manuals, guides, and stuff like that. I almost bought them all. Decided against it. But that one alone right there is worth at least $30, maybe $40. Then this portable hard drive, if you want to call it memory, massive memory card, 500 gigs. I thought this was brand new sealed, but it's not. She put her name with a sticker on it I thought this was on the outside, but it's on the inside, so obviously she's used this. Still, I'm probably going to save it for myself when I start doing videos using a GoPro, where I'm going to need the extra memory or whatever. So probably going to save that for myself. Now, one of the best things, other than this movie and the manual, that I didn't realize were worth that much until much later, were these Christmas ornaments. Now, let me pull one of these over really quick. These look like your generic dollar store ornaments, and for the most part, they probably were at the time. Retail price $9.99. It's a 6-pack. Now, what's interesting about these is what they are made for Kurt Adler. If you know anything about Kurt Adler is a big name for Christmas ornaments, Christmas decorations. Now, if you find this stuff in Target, Walmart, a department store, whatever, they use the name Kurt Adler to sell the product, because the name has become pretty big and pretty synonymous for Christmas decorations, especially glass ornaments and that type of stuff. So, but this was early on. So this is back when they weren't even using the name on the package. I mean, literally this sitting on the shelf, you wouldn't think twice about there being a name attached to this. So I found comps on eBay, used condition, a set of 6 of these same ornaments for $30 a piece. I got 5 boxes for $2 a piece. Brand new condition, $40, $50 a box. So we're looking easily $200 to $250 for all these. I paid $2 a piece, $10 total. That's a great find. And then Saturday, came across another yard sale. Like I said before, didn't buy anything at that yard sale, but came across a tag sale, which was basically an estate sale, which was basically ran by the family, which ended up being a garage sale where everything was for sale. This is all that I found. Whoever this person was really into engineering and that type of thing. The books were, if they were hardcover, $2 a piece. If they were soft cover, they were $1 a piece. So I paid $2 a piece for these and $1 a piece for those, for a total of $10. this set of 3 manuals for gear design, section 1, section 2, and section 3. I think I can list these easily $75, maybe $100. Some of the section 2 and 3 books alone were selling for $30, $40 a piece. And then I got this set of 4 AUDLs or whatever, New Electric Library, that's principles and rules and all this different stuff. Very, very mint, very cool looking cover. Again, I paid a buck a piece for those. I think I can sell this set for $40 to $50. So easily $100, $125 for a $10 purchase. That was Saturday. Today on Sunday, didn't find anything at all. But that's what I found. I'm actually pretty happy for this late in the year. Once again, no recycling event this weekend, but there's going to be one last one next weekend. And of course, I'll bring a video and talk about that stuff next week. All right, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week.